Tom Homan, once the acting head of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, has long been one of the most recognizable figures in the realm of U.S. immigration enforcement. His rise from humble beginnings as a small-town police officer to becoming a key figure in one of the most contentious areas of U.S. politics, immigration policy, has been marked by a combination of tough rhetoric, direct action, and a commitment to law enforcement. His reputation as a tough enforcer of U.S. immigration laws is well known, and his personal life and financial success provide a unique perspective on the man behind the enforcement. In this video, we delve into Tom Homan's journey, his rise to prominence, and how he lives his life today in luxury. We explore how his tough stance on immigration enforcement has not only shaped his professional career but also his lifestyle, showcasing the kind of financial success and comfort he has achieved after decades in law enforcement. Through understanding his background and personal life, we gain insight into how Homan's career in public service, particularly his leadership at ICE, has influenced his path to living comfortably in today's world. So what does the lifestyle of America's toughest enforcer look like? Let's take a closer look at how Tom Homan navigates the intersection of public service and luxury living. Tom Homan's career in law enforcement is a testament to his steadfast dedication and unwavering commitment to service. His journey, which started in the small town of West Carthage, New York, reflects a path shaped by hard work, perseverance, and a deep sense of duty to protect and serve his country. From his early days as a police officer to becoming one of the leading figures in U.S. immigration enforcement, Homan's career is defined by his steady rise through the ranks and his growing influence in the enforcement of immigration laws. Homan began his professional journey as a police officer, a role that laid the foundation for his understanding of law enforcement. The skills he developed during this time, including leadership, decision-making, and a keen sense of justice, served him well as he transitioned into the U.S. Border Patrol. Joining the Border Patrol marked a significant turning point in Homan's career, as it allowed him to expand his scope of work beyond local law enforcement and address broader national security issues. The Border Patrol, tasked with safeguarding the nation's borders, required agents to be highly trained, vigilant, and prepared for a variety of challenges. In the early stages of his Border Patrol career, Homan quickly proved himself to be a reliable and effective agent. His dedication to the mission, combined with his ability to think critically and adapt to rapidly changing circumstances, allowed him to stand out. Over the years, Homan's reputation grew, and he earned a series of promotions, moving through the ranks to become a supervisor. His performance was consistently recognized by his superiors, and it wasn't long before he found himself at the helm of some of the most critical operations in U.S. immigration enforcement. By 2013, Homan had achieved a major milestone in his career when he was appointed Executive Associate Director of ICE's Enforcement and Removal Operations, ERO. In this role, he was responsible for overseeing the national efforts to enforce immigration laws and remove individuals who were unlawfully residing in the United States. This position placed him at the center of the U.S. government's immigration policy and enforcement strategies. Homan's leadership during this time was marked by his unwavering focus on removing individuals who had entered the U.S. illegally, as well as those who had committed crimes while in the country. His approach to enforcement was often described as tough but fair, emphasizing both the importance of upholding the law and ensuring that enforcement actions were carried out in a manner that was consistent with the country's values. Throughout his career, Homan remained deeply committed to the idea that law enforcement should prioritize public safety and national security. His tenure at ICE, particularly in the role of Executive Associate Director, saw the expansion of operations focused on the identification and removal of illegal immigrants, as well as individuals who posed a threat to the safety and security of the United States. Under his leadership, ICE's enforcement and removal operations saw an increase in the deportation of individuals with criminal backgrounds, which was a central focus of the Trump administration's immigration policies. Homan's dedication to his work did not go unnoticed. He became one of the most influential figures in U.S. immigration enforcement, playing a key role in shaping policies that would impact millions of people. His career is characterized by his service to his country, his focus on ensuring the integrity of the nation's immigration system, and his ability to rise through the ranks based on merit and results. Homan's career stands as a testament to the values of service, dedication, and a commitment to safeguarding the nation's borders and enforcing its laws. As the public face of President Donald Trump's immigration policies, Tom Homan quickly became a household name during his tenure as the acting director of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. His leadership aligned closely with the administration's zero-tolerance approach to immigration, a policy that sought to strictly enforce laws and deter illegal immigration by implementing harsh measures. One of the most controversial aspects of the policy was the separation of families at the U.S.-Mexico border, which sparked nationwide outrage and a fierce debate about human rights and the treatment of migrants. While the policy itself drew significant criticism, Homan stood firmly behind the administration's stance, defending the tactics as necessary for the security and integrity of the United States. As the head of ICE, he was responsible for overseeing the enforcement of immigration laws, including deportation operations and the management of border security. His role in shaping public discourse about immigration made him one of the most visible figures in the national conversation on immigration reform. Homan's approach to immigration enforcement was unapologetically direct, underscoring his belief that illegal immigration posed a serious threat to public safety. He consistently argued that the country's immigration system had been broken for years and needed to be fixed, with an emphasis on the strict enforcement of existing laws. His firm stance on deportation was evident in his actions and public statements, often framing the issue as one of law and order. According to Homan, the people who entered the U.S. illegally and committed crimes should face the full extent of the law. He regularly faced criticism from opponents of the administration's immigration policies, many of whom accused him of endorsing inhumane practices. The most prominent criticism centered around the separation of children from their parents at the border. While the practice was ultimately reversed, it highlighted the stark differences in opinion regarding how to approach immigration enforcement in the U.S. Nevertheless, Homan remained resolute in his position, emphasizing that his focus was on protecting American citizens from the risks posed by illegal immigration and criminal activity. Beyond deportations, Homan also worked to combat human trafficking, a significant issue that disproportionately affected vulnerable populations. As part of his leadership at ICE, he directed efforts to dismantle human trafficking rings and target those who exploit migrants for labor and sexual exploitation. These initiatives, although less publicized than the debates surrounding family separations, showcased Homan's broader commitment to not only enforcing immigration laws, but also protecting individuals from abuse. Homan's defense of the administration's controversial immigration policies also brought him into frequent public debates, often with members of Congress, advocacy groups, and the media. He used his position to push for stronger border security and advocated for the construction of a border wall, framing the debate as essential for national security. For Homan, the issue wasn't just about law enforcement. It was about protecting the country from threats he believed were tied to illegal immigration, such as drug trafficking, gang violence, and terrorism. Despite the intense political climate and constant criticism, Homan's resolve never wavered. His commitment to enforcing the law, even in the face of public backlash, solidified his status as a leading figure in the Trump administration's immigration enforcement efforts. His tenure marked a pivotal moment in the national conversation about immigration, one that would continue to shape policy debates for years to come. After retiring from his role as the acting director of ICE, Tom Homan's transition into private life brought with it a dramatic shift in both his professional focus and personal lifestyle. While his career in law enforcement, particularly as the face of strict immigration enforcement policies, was defined by tough stances and controversial decisions, his post-government life reveals a more prosperous side that many may not have anticipated. In contrast to the often demanding, scrutinized life of a public servant, Homan's new life, marked by financial success and luxury, showcases how individuals in law enforcement can pivot into the private sector and achieve significant wealth. Homan's wealth was primarily generated through several key avenues after his retirement. His expertise in immigration law enforcement, gained from decades of service, positioned him as a sought-after consultant for both political figures and organizations keen on shaping or influencing immigration policies. He quickly built a lucrative consulting business, advising on border security, law enforcement strategies, and immigration reform. Homan's experience in the public sector gave him invaluable credibility, and his strong public persona, particularly his unapologetic support for the Trump administration's immigration policies, made him an influential voice in the national conversation about immigration. In addition to his consulting work, Homan capitalized on his newfound fame through public speaking engagements. As someone who had been at the center of some of the most heated debates surrounding immigration during his time at ICE, Homan was able to command high fees for speaking on issues of border security, enforcement, and immigration policy. These opportunities provided him with another revenue stream, further boosting his income and allowing him to indulge in the luxuries that were previously unattainable during his years in government service. His speaking engagements, often in front of conservative and law enforcement-oriented audiences, reinforced his reputation as a staunch advocate for strict immigration policies, positioning him as a key figure in shaping public discourse on these matters. Homan's role in various political advisory capacities also contributed to his financial success. He remained a close ally of figures within the Republican Party and continued to advise on key issues related to immigration reform and law enforcement. His influence in these circles only amplified his visibility, as well as his potential for earning substantial sums from advisory roles and political consulting. With his newfound wealth, Homan was able to enjoy a level of financial comfort that he could not have previously imagined. One of the most significant symbols of his success is his residence. Located in suburban America, his home offers not only comfort and luxury, but also the privacy and security he had long desired. Having spent much of his career under the intense scrutiny of the public eye, Homan's new residence allows him to retreat from the spotlight and enjoy a quieter, more secure life. The residence itself is said to reflect his wealth, featuring high-end finishes, spacious living areas, and ample grounds, all of which are a far cry from the modest accommodations he may have had earlier in his life. Beyond his home, Homan's lifestyle is marked by indulgence in a range of luxury items. His collection of high-end vehicles, expensive tastes in travel, and access to exclusive leisure experiences reflect a significant shift from his former, more frugal lifestyle as a public servant. The vehicles in particular symbolize the success he has achieved in the private sector. With access to luxury cars and other high-end items, Homan's life now includes comforts that align with his wealth and influence. His leisure travel, often to exclusive destinations, speaks to his ability to afford the finer things in life, something he earned through his post-government endeavors. This luxurious lifestyle, while surprising to some, serves as a reminder that careers in law enforcement can, in certain circumstances, translate into substantial financial success once individuals move into the private sector. For Homan, the transition from government service to private consultant, speaker, and political advisor has opened doors that have allowed him to enjoy a level of wealth and luxury that contrasts with the often harsh, high-pressure nature of his former career. His ability to leverage his experience and public persona into financial gain speaks to the broader trend of former government officials, especially those in high-profile positions, transitioning into lucrative private sector roles. However, it is important to acknowledge that Homan's wealth and lifestyle have not come without controversy. His uncompromising views on immigration and his defense of the Trump administration's policies continue to spark strong reactions, both in support and opposition. His luxurious lifestyle, viewed through the lens of his previous tough stance on law enforcement and immigration, has become a point of contention for some who feel that the wealth he accumulated stands in stark contrast to the ideals he once championed. Nonetheless, Homan's ability to amass wealth and enjoy a luxurious lifestyle serves as a reminder of the significant financial opportunities available to former public officials in law enforcement, particularly when they transition into influential roles in the private sector. Tom Homan's career is inextricably tied to the contentious immigration policies of the Trump administration, and his legacy is undeniably shaped by the debates that surrounded these policies. As one of the most visible figures in the enforcement of the administration's tough stance on immigration, Homan quickly became a polarizing figure. On one hand, his supporters praise him for his unwavering dedication to securing the U.S. border and his commitment to enforcing immigration laws. They view him as someone who was simply doing his job to protect national security and public safety, particularly in the face of what they see as a broken immigration system. To them, Homan's actions were justified, even if the methods were controversial. On the other hand, Homan's critics argue that his policies contributed to widespread harm, particularly through the implementation of the zero-tolerance policy, which led to the separation of families at the U.S.-Mexico border. The policy, which was widely condemned for its humanitarian impact, saw children being taken from their parents, often placed in detention centers, and subjected to trauma that many still carry today. Critics argue that as a central figure in the enforcement of these policies, Homan bears responsibility for the emotional and psychological toll this caused on countless families. Despite the fierce backlash, Homan has remained steadfast in his defense of his actions. He frequently justifies his decisions by framing them within the broader context of national security and the protection of vulnerable populations, such as children who were being trafficked across the border. For Homan, enforcing the law was a duty, and he maintains that separating families was a regrettable but necessary step to deter illegal immigration and combat human trafficking. He insists that the ultimate goal was to protect the children involved, even if the process was painful and difficult. However, while Homan's intention to protect vulnerable individuals is an important aspect of his narrative, the human cost of his policies is undeniable. The lasting impact of family separations, as well as the trauma experienced by those caught in the enforcement actions, cannot be easily ignored. This tension between Homan's stated motivations and the negative consequences of his policies adds significant complexity to his legacy, making him a figure who is both respected by some and deeply criticized by others. Ultimately, Homan's career is defined by this duality, as both a defender of the law and a controversial figure whose actions had lasting repercussions. Since stepping down from his role as ICE's acting director, Homan has continued to be an influential figure in the world of immigration policy. He has taken on a variety of consulting roles, advising political figures and providing commentary on immigration issues in the U.S. Homan has also been involved in several advocacy groups focused on securing the U.S. border, often appearing as a speaker at rallies and forums that promote stricter immigration laws. His continued involvement in these areas, along with his public speaking engagements, ensures that Homan remains a key voice in the ongoing national conversation about immigration reform. He has been critical of the Biden administration's approach to immigration and has been a staunch advocate for more stringent enforcement of U.S. immigration laws. His views have resonated with many of those who favor tougher immigration policies, solidifying his position as one of the leading figures in the debate over immigration in America. While much of the attention surrounding Tom Homan focuses on his career and public life, it's also worth looking at his personal life and the values he holds dear. Homan is a family man, married with children, and he has often spoken about the importance of family in his life. His family life, like his public career, has been one of service and dedication. Homan has expressed that his decision to pursue a career in law enforcement was driven by a desire to protect his family and ensure a safe future for them. Homan has also been an advocate for the importance of service to one's country, and this sentiment is often echoed in his speeches and public appearances. He has emphasized the importance of maintaining national security and ensuring that the U.S. remains a country of law and order. His personal values align closely with his professional actions, as he has consistently advocated for the preservation of U.S. sovereignty and security. Tom Homan's legacy is one of controversy, dedication, and unwavering commitment to the enforcement of U.S. immigration laws. While his policies and actions as the head of ICE have drawn criticism, his stance on the need for a secure border and a legal immigration system has left a lasting impact on U.S. policy. His personal life, marked by financial success and a commitment to his family, offers a glimpse into the life of a man who dedicated much of his career to enforcing the law. In examining how America's toughest enforcer lives in luxury, we see that his career has allowed him not only to shape the future of immigration policy, but also to achieve the financial success and lifestyle many would envy. Despite the controversies, Homan's journey remains a testament to the opportunities that arise from a career in law enforcement and public service. If you found Tom Homan's story fascinating, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth looks at the lives of influential figures shaping the world today. What do you think of Tom Homan's approach to immigration enforcement? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.